chasing the rabbit so you don't have to. Prepper Guy and Big D have joined forces to dig into the issues. Here they are, the two Krazy Guys.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Two Krazy Guys, and we are broadcasting here for your enjoyment. We thank you for tuning in. We want to welcome all of our listeners joining us on KYAH 540 AM, Utah's Talk Authority, and also all those over there on Contra Radio Network. You can log on to that website at contraradionetwork.com. Speaking of which, we are awaiting possibly the arrival of John Jeffers from the Jeffers Brief. Hopefully we can get him to come in before this is over. But anyway, big shout out to them. My name is Donald Lowry, a.k.a. Big D. And on the other side is my co-host, Mark Boyle, a.k.a. the Prepper Guy. How you doing, Mark?
Hey, I'm doing great today. I'm obviously at work, but I'm doing good.
Yeah, it is. You know, I understand.
I guess we all have that job thing to do.
Amen, brother. So what are we going to talk about today? I guess the border still, huh?
It seems like it's a continuing saga with, I hate Trump and the Trump wall, and he's a racist, and we can't fund it, and we can spend billions on other stupid stuff. And so it just seems to keep on going and going. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
You really have to be a low-life individual to stage a fake attack on yourself and then blame it on Trump supporters.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked that they have gone after him and found it out that he's lying, because it is in Chicago.
It is a new low, man. That's a low. That's as low as you can get, man.
Yeah, and you would think, well, the media did glam onto it, and at first, but now I think they're backpedaling on that, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
It was at first I was like, that didn't make sense to me even when I first heard the reports. It's like I don't know anybody that has MAGA hats and Trump supporters in the whole state of Illinois.
Yeah,
except John, he lives there.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
He's the lone wolf over there, huh?
He is. He wants out of there, and I keep telling him, move to Arizona. Even on a day like this where it'll probably snow tonight, it's still in the, nice temperature. Tomorrow it'll be nice, Yeah, we'll have some snow, but it'll be gone by noon.
Well, so one can only hope. This is supposed to be a wing-dinger of a storm coming through, so we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Is this part of the polar vortex moving through still?
Yeah, global warming, right?
Yeah, I'm all for global warming. I hate cold weather, so.
Yeah, me too, man. So the state of emergency has been declared, as we all know. And, I've said this before, and I know we've talked about this, but, it boils down to the legalities and the constitutionality of this whole emergency declaration. Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution, that lists the, quote, powers, unquote, of the president. And
the constitutional powers, too, not just the made-up ones.
Right. These are actually the law of the land.
Yeah.
And nowhere in there does it declare that he has the authority to create a state of emergency like that.
Right.
That being said, many other presidents have done so, and nobody has seemed to really care. But now that it's Trump doing it, it's a big thing.
Yeah. Now, all the states are starting to learn some of the important things in the Constitution, like states' rights, state sovereignty, and that Congress writes to check and is in control of these issues. Unfortunately, they're learning it because they hate Trump so bad that they're trying to find a way to hurt him,
right?
In a way. But the states could handle this, I guess, if you really wanted to go down to the nitty gritty of the Constitution, and if Trump wanted to say, okay, I'm not going to do an emergency bill, you're all on your own. Then the states would need to get militias, which were, I think, done away with under Clinton with the witch hunt for militias when Ruby Ridge and Waco and all that. But a state should be sovereign enough to go, well, if Border Patrol can't handle it on a federal level, then we're going to bring in militias or National Guard and we're going to protect our state.
Right.
And so it could be thrown back onto them, but that would require Congress to do their job, which
right. We know they don't.
They're not going to.
Exactly.
When the last guy that did his job was Joe Arpaio, and they basically ran him out on a rail.
Yeah.
And he's a great guy, but he was constantly in court more than out, solving problems.
For upholding the law.
Yeah. So you're kind of, I feel sorry for any president really that would want that job, but here's Trump. He's kind of damned if he does and damned if he don't, because something has to be done. You have 2-3 million illegal immigrants coming across the border every year because they won't wait for the light to change color and turn green. Exactly. So the problem isn't our system. It's not what we're trying to do or not do. It's just that we let in 1 million people a year. And after that, the rest of the people are like, well, screw you, I'm not waiting. I've got to get over there and do whatever it is they want to do. Right. And even if it's legitimate, even if they want to work, they have to wait for the light to turn green. And so they're running this red light in theory. And then, they scurry along the border and it's so porous that they just step across. And so that to me is the real issue. And since Congress and the states aren't going to handle it, then Trump has to do something. That is his sworn oath to protect, the citizens.
Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution.
Yeah. So I would hate the job personally.
Yeah. Now, while we're talking about laws, there is a law. It is it's the INA 212F, and that law basically does give the president the authority to close the border. In fact, it says, whenever the president finds that entry of any aliens or any class of aliens into the United States is detrimental to the interest of the United States, he may, by proclamation, and for such period as he shall deem necessary, suspend the entry of all aliens or any class of aliens as immigrants or non-immigrants, or impose on the entry of aliens any restrictions he may deem to be appropriate. So that pretty much covers it all right there. I mean, that's it covers everything.
They're out shopping for judges, in the Ninth Circuit and the Fifth Circuit in California and all that, to dig up all these laws. But you can find a law to sue or not sue anybody,
right?
And the Trump is doing the right thing. And if you look at the equal protection under the law, and no law can suspend our rights as American citizens, that which you just read has nothing to do that would harm or means test or screw over an American citizen. Right. It's like, we're keeping them out for your protection. Exactly. It's not hurting us as Americans. So I don't think it's overstepping any bounds.
No,
it's in complete, harmony with the Constitution.
Absolutely. I agree. And so, the whole thing, personally, I think we all know that, but I want to make it very clear. I do support President Trump. He's doing a fantastic job. He's probably going to go down in history as one of the best presidents we've ever had in this country. And so I do support him. The White House claims that they're ready, for these lawsuits. There's like 16 states now that have filed suit against him. But, they claim they're ready, and I do believe that they are ready. Trump is the kind of guy that goes into battle with his guns locked and loaded and ready to do battle. He doesn't go in there half-cocked and not knowing what he's doing.
Right. How did they find 16 border states?
Well, I like I said, I don't know
because
if
it has to do with the Mexican border actually. So there's California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas.
yeah.
Those would
I'm
be
not
the only
sure.
4 states that would really have any standing.
I'm not sure how many states there are. Let's see. Um,
I've heard it's quite a few.
yeah, that's what I'm trying. I thought I heard it was like 16. Yeah, 16 states file lawsuit against Trump administration.
Huh.
Yeah, and I agree. It's a border issue. How did the other states fall into that category?
I guess because the emergency thing then affects all 50 states in a kind of roundabout way because it's our tax dollars pouring into
Okay.
the federal government. But he's not taking any money that hasn't already been allocated in other places. It's just,
Right.
they're always saying that about Planned Parenthood. Well, the money's fungible, blah, blah, blah. Well, okay, they're not funding abortion technically, but they still are. So they get all upriled about a border patrol, a border issue, but infanticide's totally okay. Nobody's
Right.
suing them. And maybe
Right.
someone should, maybe we ought to get 16 states to file an injunction against Planned Parenthood funding.
Well,
Yeah.
the whole thing, it's all going to boil down to, like I said, I think Trump is ready. He's not going to be embarrassed. I can tell you
No.
that. He's not the kind of guy. Look, you don't get to be Donald Trump, the a-hole that nobody likes, by being a nice schmoozy guy. I mean, that's
Takes a
one of the
lot of
reasons.
practice. And
That was one of the reasons why I was attracted to Trump, because he's a cocky guy that, he's not one of the good old boy networks. He's an outsider, and he just, he tells it like it is. And if you don't like it, too bad.
well, yeah. And what happened to all these, bleeding hearts that constantly rail on the Republican Party about, the good old boys club, the good old boys club. And
Yeah.
here comes Trump. That's not the good old boys club. And
Yeah.
you'd think he'd be like revered, but they hated Ronald Reagan too,
Yeah.
just because he had an R in front of his name, and
Right.
it had nothing to do with that. And eventually he was proven to be right
Yeah.
and did a lot of good. Did he screw up with amnesty? Sure, but that was probably one of them deals he had to sign to get something else done, brought to you by the Democratic Party.
Yeah. Well, the thing is too that Ronald Reagan's amnesty was supposed to be the last amnesty. There wasn't
Yeah,
supposed to be any more after that. And
right.
here we are, and it's a shame. It's a crying shame, Mark, when the president of the United States has to fight with Congress in order to do his job and get the job done that he is constitutionally required to do. And they are too.
Yeah, they are too. And he's fighting their fight for him. And yet they're turning around and even on the Republican side, he's got a lot of never Trump people out there that
Absolutely.
got their panties all in a wad over this deal too.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
no,
Well,
I think he's doing a good job. And like you said, this amnesty thing, it's they've kicked the can down the road so many times.
yeah.
And we all talk about it, kicking the can down the road. And finally, Trump goes, hey, let's pick this can up and
Yeah.
fix this. And now everybody's like, wait a minute, you're interrupting our game. We're playing kick the can.
I
And it's
love
like,
that analogy, man.
it's like that. But I thought that was the problem, was the can, not the game of kick the can.
Right.
So, it's an uphill battle, but I support him. I think we have some serious issues on the border. I think they're not insurmountable for all American people if we just can get on the same page.
Yeah.
In a way, I mean, the founding fathers argued day and night and tooth and nail over things too, but they were able to do a parliamentary kind of vote, and it worked. You go, okay,
Right.
I lost that one. You're right. There's always good and bad points on both sides.
Yes, I agree.
But nowadays it's like do or die. That's
Right.
it.
Well, so, personally, I think that they should have done another shutdown. But, I know people are probably saying, well, yeah, that's easy for you to say. You're not the one that's not getting a paycheck. Well, that just tells me that, if it was as bad, like I said before, if it was as bad as they're making it out to be, then government's too darn big.
Yeah. If there's that many non-essentials, then that kind of sums it up. They're unessential. Get rid of them.
Exactly.
Oh, that's time.
So
Sorry.
we are going to take a quick break real quick, and we will be back in just a few minutes.
You can't shut these damn things off no matter what.
Thanks for tuning in. Catch them next time as they dig into the issues. The two crazy guys. Log on to the website at www.contraradionetwork.com.